you expect to be there next season, or is this a goodbye, Eden?
Finds instead Eden Hazard! Trying to find a way through! Oh, that is magnificent!
From the best player in the Premier League and one of the best in Europe to being a player that can't get in the squad at Real Madrid.
This guy comes to training, he doesn't tie his training shoe. He doesn't tie it up.
Never a moment's doubt, was there?
When he turned up with the condition he turned up at Real Madrid.
We may just... Brilliant run by Hazard! Oh, that is absolutely phenomenal!
Are you the best player in the world at the moment?
Again? Yes.
He should have ruled Spain. He should have danced on the Bernabeu stage with the same grace, mischief, and swagger he once brought to Stamford Bridge. Eden Hazard wasn't supposed to fade. He was supposed to flourish. Instead, he became a ghost. Not overnight, but painfully, slowly, until the magician who made defenders vanish simply vanished himself. This is the story of a generational talent undone by injuries, whispers of complacency, and the crushing weight of expectation. A player who conquered England, but never truly arrived in Spain.
Giroud, Hazard gets it back. Oh, that's special.
At Chelsea, Eden Hazard wasn't just brilliant. He was adored. He didn't need power to destroy you. He did it with joy. He arrived in 2012 as a flashy prodigy. By the time he left in 2019, he'd won 2 Premier Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, and had built a highlight reel that made jaws drop around the world. His 2018-19 season was near perfect. 21 goals, 17 assists. Defenders couldn't get close. Fans couldn't look away. He was Chelsea's heartbeat, the man for the moment.
All the fans want to know.
Yeah, I think it's a goodbye, but in football you never know.
Everyone knew where he was going. It was Eden Hazard's childhood dream. They paid €100 million for him, one of the most expensive signings in their history. He was 28, at his peak. This wasn't a gamble, it was a coronation. Hazard was expected to be the new face of Madrid. Ronaldo had left, Bale was drifting, the throne was empty. But as cameras flashed and press cheered during his unveiling, there was already something off. He looked different. Not sharp. Not lean. Not ready. He showed up to pre-season overweight, not by much, but enough. Enough to raise eyebrows. Enough to stall momentum. Enough to whisper doubt into the ears of the supporters. His first season started with a hamstring injury, then came the ankle, and then another. In total, Hazard missed over 80 games due to injury across 4 seasons, more games than he played. And when he did play, he wasn't himself. Gone was the explosiveness, the low dribbles, the effortless glide past defenders. Instead, Hazard looked like he was dragging something invisible behind him, the weight of a €100 million tag, the echoes of a body that couldn't catch up with his instincts. Zidane protected him, the media criticised him, the fans grew impatient. And Hazard, he smiled through it, almost too often. After Real Madrid were knocked out of the Champions League by Chelsea in 2021, cameras caught him laughing with his old teammates. That smile, once infectious, now looked tone-deaf. The fans turned on him. But Hazard's struggle wasn't just about injuries. It was about habits that no longer held up. He never took football too seriously off the pitch. He trained how he felt, rarely hit the gym, didn't obsess over diet or drills. And when he was young, sharp, explosive, untouchable, it didn't matter. Talent carried him. But as his body aged, the cracks appeared. The extra weight, the slower recovery, the little strains that turned into layoffs. What once felt like freedom began to look like fragility. And at Real Madrid, fragility is unforgivable. He tried to change, to adapt. But by then, the foundation was already weak. Madrid needed a machine. What they got was a magician trying to restart the trick with tired hands. It wasn't just physical. The weight of the price tag, the pressure of replacing a legend, the scrutiny of Madrid's unforgiving press, it all added up. Hazard, always carefree, seemed to carry a burden now. He smiled less, he played less, and when he did, he rarely lit up the pitch. He tried, but his body wouldn't cooperate, and his mind, so often his greatest strength, began to doubt. And when doubt creeps in at the top level, it spreads like poison. By the time he left Real Madrid in 2023, the numbers were stark. 4 seasons, 4 goals in La Liga. A handful of moments, but no defining stretch. No title-winning run sparked by his brilliance. No Champions League nights dominated by his dribbling. Just what-ifs. Hazard went from being one of the most feared players in the world to a cautionary tale of fitness, form, and fate. He wasn't old, he wasn't finished, but the dream had already slipped through his fingers. October 2023. Eden Hazard announced his retirement. 32 years old. No final swan song. No last dance in MLS or Saudi Arabia. He walked away. Quietly. It felt sudden, but it wasn't shocking. Because for fans who watched closely, Hazard had been gone long before that. The love for the game, the fearless creativity, had faded. So how do we remember Eden Hazard? At Chelsea, he was a legend. The best since Zola. Maybe the best ever in blue. He left memories that will live forever. The solo goal against Arsenal, the demolition of West Ham. He was electric, unstoppable, a Premier League icon. But at Real Madrid, he was an echo, a flicker, the right player at the wrong time. Injury robbed us. Fitness betrayed him. The fire dimmed too early. Football can be cruel. One moment you're the Prince of London, the next you're forgotten in Madrid. Eden Hazard should have dominated Spain. He should have owned Champions League nights. But instead he became a symbol of unfulfilled potential, of what could have been. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because the stars refused to align. And maybe that's the real tragedy, that Eden Hazard had everything. The skill, the stage, the story, but not the time. Not the time to be the player we all knew he could be. And so he left the game not with fireworks, but with silence. A whisper of what might have been. Thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.